There's nothing like being there. The moments in life that truly matter cannot be experienced from behind a computer screen or over the internet. They only happen when we are present and engaged with the world around us. In recent times, with the advent of online education, questions have been raised as to the validity of the 4 year degree, and by extension, the liberal arts education. However, the numbers indicate otherwise. The numbers say that students perform 7% better on exams and have 4% higher GPAs when taught in a classroom as opposed to online. Now, one might just say that these are stats and they may not tell the full story, and that's a fair point. So instead of telling you all the numbers, I'm going to tell you how I found the true value of a Dickinson education. Now, you see, growing up, my mother and I had long conversations. When I say long, I mean way past midnight. We would talk about pretty much everything under the sun, from the shenanigans of my little siblings to love or whatever conception I had of love at the age of 13. Uh, but one topic that we would always come back to was the importance of education. You see, both my grandmothers were educators. They went from regular teachers to head teachers at both of their institutions. And so they kind of picked favorites based on which of us was doing well in school. No pressure. So this passion for education percolated throughout the different generations of my family. My mother and I would talk about our dreams. Her dream to one day become a professor of theology, and my dream to one day go to the US to study. Now, as I remember it, my aspirations to study in the US originated from the cool uncle. You know that one, the one that's like a little younger than your parents, so he like gets you, and you always wanted to be like him. That was the cool uncle. That's where that came from. And so he studied in the US and would always regale me with tales of how wonderful an experience he had. And so some of the memories are a little unclear to me because I'm old now, I'm a senior, I forget things. Um, but I remember very well the day my parents realized that I was serious about studying in the US. There were many conversations between my mom and dad, equal parts excitement and equal parts anxiety. I was young, the US was kind of far, and it would be costly. The planning process commenced. The grades, exams, and applications were my job, while my parents had the unenviable burden of surveying the financial landscape and finding the resources it would take for me to attend college in the US. We all took our jobs very seriously, including my little sister, who is now a freshman in Notre Dame, who did more of the observing. And I will never know how many times my parents got close to saying, "This is a little too much. We can't afford this right now," because it never came. Maybe they just believed in our dreams, or just maybe whenever they were getting ready to tell me the news and I'd walk into the kitchen, they just couldn't get the words out. Either way, we kept pushing with the admissions process. You see, many people work hard in life and just can't catch a break. I was fortunate enough to. Of the 23 overseas colleges that I applied to during that process, Dickinson was the one that gave me the financial aid package that enabled me to enroll as a first student in the fall of 2013. It had finally happened. I was at a US institution, and I had swapped the sunny climate of Ghana for the equally tropical weather of Carlisle, PA. And it was great, don't get me wrong. I was living the dream. I was engaging with the subjects that I'd always been fascinated by business, French, entrepreneurship, all these different things that I'd always loved. And I worked hard. I was fortunate to have made the dean's list on pretty much every semester I'd been here. Now, who knows what happens when a country's currency loses about 50% of its value? Kind of sucks. During my sophomore year, my parents watched helplessly as our college savings were devastated. We had many of what would be known as difficult conversations. And this time, unlike when I was first applying to college, I was not spared the stark reality of the finances. At many other institutions, a family losing a lot of its college savings would have meant that a student would have to maybe take on a part time job or transfer in order to make college feasible. However, Dickinson offered me the extra support that I needed to continue here for the 4 years that I've been here. The Kappa Sigma Scholarship, supported by David Haig, right over there, and other alumni, kept me in school, and my Dickinson experience has stayed great. Now, if I took a course online, I would not be able to ask the kind of thought-provoking question that enables you to learn from a professor. If I went to a large state school, sure, the football team would be kind of cool, but as student number 1738, I probably would not be able to interact with my professor at a basketball game or meet them for lunch on Dickinson's dime, which is pretty nice, or make an appointment with them when I really needed a point of clarification. At another liberal arts school, I may be able to go to office hours, but that is not equal to a Dickinson education. I'd say it takes a truly special community for a professor to give you the keys to their house, to open their home to you and say, hey, you can do your laundry here, and I know you're stressing out about your thesis and you're really working hard on this, you can write your thesis in my home. That has been my Dickinson experience. Everyone here has given me the keys and let me in, and that is what makes Dickinson great. In my time at Dickinson, I have had many incredible opportunities to engage with the world around me. I have been fortunate enough to study abroad in Toulouse and do research in Arizona and New Mexico. I have been fortunate enough to throw about a football on Morgan Field, to read a novel in a red Adirondack chair, or to go to the G-Man with a couple of my friends. Tomorrow, I will be handing in a 50-page thesis in a language that I did not really speak before I came to Dickinson. Thanks to a Dickinson alum, Zach Leverance, I got the chance to intern at Everyone On because he took a chance on me, and now I will be joining them full-time in a couple of weeks. Like Kirk said, Everyone On is an organization that helps provide internet access to underserved families across the country, and it espouses my core beliefs of doing business without exploiting others. Can anyone say dream job? As you have discovered, undoubtedly, through your table conversations, the students in this room have well and truly kicked butt in their time at Dickinson. However, we must leave a legacy. The legacy that I choose to leave behind is to give to Dickinson, specifically to the Scholarship Fund. I give to scholarships because I would not have been able to attend this school for 4 years without the assistance of parents and alums who cared enough about students like me to donate. And so to them, to all of you, I am eternally grateful. To the students and the future alums in the room, it's on us to become the reason why other students with potential have the opportunity to reach Dickinson. There's nothing like being there. There's nothing like being here at Dickinson. There's nothing like being in that game, in that club meeting, in that lab. Whatever you're passionate about at Dickinson, whether you're a sister in a sorority, whether you play in a sports team, or whether you just rock out in the jazz band, there's nothing like being here. To the donors, thank you all for your gifts that make it possible for so many to get an education. To my fellow students, let us spread our wings to soar, but let us not forget the platform from which we take off. Thank you.